What are you nerding out about now?
All right, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Uh, you know what, Kurt? Because I know you're not discuss it briefly this week. Talk about what you're nerding out about right now.
Yeah, so I'm doing something crazy. And so when I decide to do something crazy, I actually tend to overanalyze and over research things.
Can confirm.
Yeah. So I am going to be running a Spartan event here in the area. And if you're not familiar with
Mm.
Spartan races, it's kind of like have you heard of Tough Mudder? Or
Yep.
yeah, there it's like these kind of extreme races with a whole bunch of obstacles in the middle of it. And there's one called the Spartan Stadion, which they run in stadiums all around the United States and probably around the world. I don't know. But they have one coming up in November, so I got plenty of time to train. That is going to be done at Fenway Park
Is
here in
Fenway
Boston.
closed in and heated?
No, it's New England. Why would we need
But
that?
you live in Florida. This is why you're going to do a Spartan race in November, right?
Yeah, no, I live in New Hampshire. It's going to be November, and which
It's only
all
one obstacle, and that obstacle is -32 snowbanks. That's what that obstacle is, Kurt.
no, but here's the thing: November is not when it actually gets really cold. November is just November. So what this is, the types of obstacles that they have are things like you have to go over like a 4-foot wall is one of them, or go under a bunch of cords, or go through like a jungle gym type of thing. They do have a rope climb where you have to climb the rope and ring the bell type of thing. They've got monkey bars that you gotta get all the way across, and they've got rings that you swing on to get to all the way across. And if you miss them, like if you don't complete that obstacle, you got to do burpees. And burpees are, you drop to the ground like a push-up, you you jump back up and raise your hands and jump up and go down and do it again, and it's a whole thing. So I'm doing it just to see if I can.
Random kids, gotcha. Do you run through chowder instead of mud during a tough mudder in New England?
No, you get chowder afterwards.
So, and random kid does ask, are you posting any videos of your Spartan race on social media?
Well, you're not the first person to ask tonight. And in all likelihood, I am probably gonna get a GoPro and
Good.
just take a bunch of video when I go.
You want to be
Um,
really goofy? Just get one of those $5 neck bands that puts your phone to watch and just let it
yep.
bounce everywhere. Oh
Yeah,
my
that'd be
god!
great. That'd be great. So yeah, it's weird because I'm in a strange place with my whole weight loss journey now, where I look forward to going to the gym.
That's a great place.
It's
You
weird.
you've
I've never
internalized
been
the
there.
habit,
I've never
right?
been there though. Like I took 3 days off in a row going to the gym because I had a couple things going on earlier this week from my body standpoint, and it was weird. And I was like, I got to get back to the gym. Like it like for my mental health, I got to get back to the gym.
Yeah,
It brings me peace even though in the middle of the
good.
pain. it's
Yeah,
it's it's weird. But I've never been here before. And so I'm
sure,
like,
that's awesome.
my mantra this year is get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I just said, this Spartan race is something I would never do because it's stupid. So why not do
Right.
it?
Um, just went on a little fact finding mission. The average temperature of New Hampshire in November for a typical day ranges from a high of 50 degrees, still cold, to a low of 32 degrees. Some would describe it as cold and breezy. Average temperature of a day in Atlanta in November It's still 70 freaking degrees, Kurt.
Yeah.
It's cold.
32 degrees is nothing though. Like 32 degrees is like, oh, well, if it's gonna snow, it's not gonna stick.
It's a dry cold. It's okay.
Well, it's not gonna stick. It's just like whatever. So I'm more concerned if it rains, honestly, because then the obstacles get way slipperier. So, daddy.
Joe, what are you nerding out about?
Nerds.
I agree with Random Kid that Kurt should cosplay as Master Roshi for DragonCon.
So here's my my response to that. Master Roshi is from Dragon Ball, right?
Yeah, or Dragon Ball Z, both. Yeah.
Okay, that's all
or
I know.
Dragon Ball Super or GT or yeah.
That's all I
Dragon
know.
Ball Red and Blue or Sapphire and Pearl or whatever. Who cares? Kurt,
So I actually am planning on cosplaying for the first time this year because again I would never do it. So why not get?
And he can finally buy costumes from the kids section at freaking
not quite yet.
Halloween.
But I won't reveal one of them because one of them is a surprise for all of our gang at DragonCon. But the other one is I can't. I'm blanking on his name.
I think I know the
but
one.
Jurassic Park dude.
John Hammond.
That's
what I thought was going to be a surprise.
Yeah. No, that's not the
that
surprise.
One's not a surprise. He announced that one already.
Yeah. So I've just got to buy the stuff, but I think I can pull off a John Hammond now. But the other one is going to be a complete surprise.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
if you don't cosplay as Mini-Me, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because if you're like, I just have you walk in as Mini-Me and you start, oh my God, that would be great.
Oh, man.
Too much hair color and shaving involved.
It's worth it, Kurt.
But what
I lose the weight, you cut the hair.
Yeah.
What I'm actually nerding out about is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Is that the live action one?
So I did watch the live action this past week. It was okay, but they crammed 2 seasons of the anime into 5 episodes.
Ooh.
So their pacing was all over the place. The visuals were okay. The final boss looked like what was the villain in Justice League that the CGI was horrible?
Yeah, Steppenwolf.
Doomsday? Steppenwolf?
Yeah, Steppenwolf, yep.
Yeah.
The boss, his CGI was very cringeworthy. Like, the body was fine. It was the face. The face was horrible. But it made me relive like bits of the anime, and I'm gonna start rewatching the anime because it's super good. And they left it open for another season. The trouble is, I'm pretty sure the anime is only 4 or 5 seasons, and they already covered the first 2 seasons in 5 episodes. I mean, granted, there's a lot from the first 2 seasons that they could bring in, but they completely butchered the best arc of the anime, which is in season 2. And so,
which ironically is about him being a butcher.
No. And so it's I really like Yu Yu Hakusho, the anime. If you have never watched the anime, the live action will probably entertain you if that's something that you would like. I do wonder if people who have not watched the anime or read the source material, if they would be confused about a lot of the things, or maybe that's me just projecting because I know that there's stuff missing, and so it could be that. But yeah, the anime. You
said it's only
very
5
good.
episodes, and it's on Netflix.
It is.
I will try. I can't promise. I will try to watch those 5 episodes this week, knowing nothing about it, and then come back and tell you my take on it, so you can figure out if I'm confused or not. I mean, I probably will be. It's me. Let's be honest. It's me.
I will too, because I'm not familiar with the anime. I know the name, but that's all I know.
Yeah,
Okay.
never heard. So Yu Yu Hakusho, got it.
Yep. And they did actually do some nods specifically to the anime. Like there's a point where it shows a truck driver and his radio is playing the theme song to the anime because they changed the graphics of the intro every season, but they kept the same song for the intro the entire time. And so I was like, oh, hey, it's the song. It's the song. But yeah, it was all right. What are you nerding about, Charles?
Right now I'm actually adding this to my list on Netflix.
Yu
So let me
Yu Hakusho.
wasn't not plus button. There it is. Okay, cool. Just added it to my list. I didn't know how to phrase this, but I'm actually really nerding out about how much I'm achieving at life right now. And just kicking butt. I need to update my spreadsheet. But last October-ish, I said that I was going to knock out just arbitrary numbers are always arbitrary, right? For goals. So I was going to knock out 24 speaking engagements in 24 months or by the end of 2024. And so the only rules on it is it can't be like wise and nerdy. I can't build the show as a podcast and just get on it. But anything else I'm invited to or accepted to, so I can pitch like we pitched Wise and Nerdy to Chattacon, but they had to see it, call it valid, and bring us in. So that's how it counts as being brought in. I knocked out like 6 or 7 speaking engagements at Atlanta Comic-Con this year, and this is past weekend as of this recording, and it was amazing. It was solid. And I was only supposed to do they took my game show, so that was one. And I did record that. I really recorded it to help refine it, but I'm gonna see if it's worth posting. I might post it up, let everybody see what the game show is. By the way, next Wednesday night, you guys, everybody needs to come out. Random Kid, follow Dragon Con or DC Digital Media on YouTube, because I know that's where you've watched us here. Next Wednesday night, I can't remember the name you suggested, Kurt. I did sit at the tire. We're probably going to use it, but that connections with the con or whatever it was, I forget what it.
Yeah.
But that con night, right?
Yep.
Do you want us to be a rock god? No, that'd be great. It's Fandom Face Off is the name of it, and I'm going to do it live on YouTube and Twitch next Wednesday night for the Dragon Con, the DC Digital Media night that we do on Wednesday nights. It's 8:00 Eastern. So definitely everybody come check that out. Play, because Joe, you got to play with it last time. It's a very interactive game, even online. You know, it works really well, right? Okay. So I knew I was getting that one. And then this is a con that lets me moderate all the time. And they'd already told me this year, said, hey, no, things have changed up. Would you like me to come? And like, and her name is Corey, and she's amazing. It's like, yeah, I know what you bring. We'll use it as a moderator and pitch whatever you want. We'll use it. And so I started talking to her, found out what she needed, right? And you guys saw me go into the Discord for Dragon Con Digital Media Track and say, hey, here's what, apply. And Phaedra Black applied. I think some others applied and some other things happened. Then I get my moderation schedule, and it's fun. But this year, aside from all these speaking gigs, this year, one of my goals is to get a real guest for the DC Digital Media Track. And I want to bring celebrities who do podcasts because they have a passion. You know, there's a lot of celebrities who do it to be valid and stay relevant through gigs. And one might even argue that Kevin Smith kind of did that for a little while, even though I think he is passionate. You could argue that he did some of it to stay relevant. But there are definitely so many great celebrities who do podcasts about all kind of stuff. And last year I tried to get Katie Sackhoff and talked to her people. I actually got as far as talking to her producer on her show, and they were just launching blah blah blah, and it's her podcast, and it's really about her talking. Now, yeah, she's talking to other celebrities, but it's as friends, it's as sharing stories or like connection and experience in our jobs kind of deal, and it's very fun to listen to. And it was just starting to like, hey, I believe some of the secret sauce of celebrities is that they always have to talk about their shows and their fandom and that kind of thing, but they never get to share the stories from their lives, which is what Finding the Stories is all about, or get to talk about their passion project, blah 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 with her. That was a passion project. She doesn't feel comfortable speaking in this format. She's not that kind of person, but she just loves conversation. So then she had just had a baby last year. She had some other stuff going on that I don't know about. They just said there's some other stuff going on. We might not be able to do Dragon Con. And then the strike happened. And so she didn't do any cons after, I think, San Diego last year. And of course, 2020 was amazing. Right. I mean, not 20. Yeah. No. The strike was amazing. I'm sorry. 2020 was bad. We did digital. Something in the chat room. Random kids, stop distracting me. Okay. All right. So we talk. All right. No, but the strike was great for Dragon Con and for the world, because all of a sudden you couldn't talk about that project, but you could talk about your processes and other things. And I can't remember the exact thing that Rachel said from Dragon Con. She's a co-chair of Dragon Con, but where else can you go and hear Patrick Stewart talk about gardening? And I think that might be the actual reference, but it was phenomenal. So we have that reference. So all that being said, got my moderation list. Katie is going to be there as tons. They got tons of celebrities this year, but on my moderation list, I had Denise Crosby. Does anybody remember who that is?
No, you Lieutenant Yar.
Yep. Tasha Yar. So I had her. I had some Bob Hall. I can't remember what he did. I had some artists. I was doing okay, and I had Jeremy Shada. And Joe, do you know who Jeremy Shada is? This one I thought you might. Do you, Kurt?
No.
Okay, the way you lean forward, I thought you might. He's the voice of Finn the Human. He was one of the main characters in the Voltron animated series.
Yep.
And he's done music and other stuff, but the Adventure Time is his big one. And I've actually interviewed him in the past, so that one was easy. And I got on the phone with Dragon Con, and we're talking about getting Katie, because getting a hold of her manager and this and that and the other. And I was getting advice from Rachel, and we were talking about things. And I was like, well, I don't get to moderate Katie, but I am going to use my access. I am going to use my pass to try to get 2 minutes with her and say, hey, I'm the director of Digital Media Track. We'd love to have you bring blah, blah, blah. And I got the blessing from Dragon Con of going, hey, that's appropriate. That's fine, because you do represent us. We do want her to come, so on and so forth. 2 days, 3 days before the con, I think I shared this with you in the Patreon possibly, or off air or something, but get a new schedule. And all of a sudden on my moderation schedule is Katie Sackhoff and some other cool people. But that I was like, the fates are among us. It was amazing. And that should have gotten a reaction from you guys. That's fine. Random kid loves me, and that's okay. And long story long, Phaedra Black ended up getting her panel shifted from Saturday to Friday, which happens sometimes, and lost pretty much all of her guests. So she reached out to me, and I've never got to create with her. We've both created around each other in the Dragon Con circles. But I got to be on 3 panels with her, and that was amazing. And then I sat down with Katie, and it was such a great conversation. It's such a good time. And then, and of course, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing the rock guy thing, right? I'm being funny, and she's laughing, the crowd's laughing. And then, because somehow a panel starts behind us, but halfway through so it's staggered by 30 minutes. Nobody knew how to work the speakers, so we're blasting through our wall. So I had to turn up her speakers. And then it just dawned on me before we ended this. Okay, as give us a minute. I'm gonna walk Katie out of the room, because I want to make sure I'm with her. And it's one of those cons where it's tight, so I just wanted to give her a path out. But let's make as much noise as we can to piss off this panel behind us. And she just walked out on cloud 9. I felt like, she could have just had fun with it, and that's fine too. But I felt like I did a cool thing. The crowd's just stomping and cheering and going crazy. And then we get out in the hall, and I got a chance to say, hey, you don't know me, but I'm the director of Digital Media Track at Dragon Con. We really would love for you to bring blah, blah, blah with Katie Sackhoff. She said she'd love to try to do that, and that we should give her a call and do that. So we're in a process there, but it's you never know. You never know what's going to happen, but it's so much fun. It's so much coolness. If she doesn't come, that's fine. But I am going to pretty much really ask for a finding the stories time with her and talk to her. But if nothing else, that's my goal. get these storytellers, these people that will put butts in seats. And I'm a fan. I've loved a lot of the stuff that she's done in her career, but to see her talk about her passion when her baby monitor went off during the panel, and it's a little video and she showed it off, and then she got a little teary-eyed telling the story about her kid. Now we don't ask, because in that setting you don't ask personal questions and those kind of things. It was great. It was just a great moment. And I got some other guests in the works. I'm working on some things, but it's just, man, it's only February, and I think I'm already halfway to my goal of speaking gigs.
That's awesome.
I got 2 more cons coming up that I'm speaking at. Actually, Metro Tham Con, Joe, they accepted Finding the Stories. Not Wise and Nerdy, which they asked about. So I pitched them and I gave them links. Not the game show, but yeah, I'm going to go interview their main person there. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe you come over, maybe you don't. We'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. It's just so cool. A lot of stuff's going on. So, did you ask her? No, I did not ask her about all the thirsty Mandalorian fans. But yeah, no, Katie was very fun to talk to. So easy to talk to. And she is the kind of person I like creating with. There are certain celebrities that, and granted, you are there for your fans, but they're only facing forward the whole time. And I'm just manage the crowd guy. I'll get you. We'll go in this order. We got it. And every once in a while, I might get to follow up with a question, and they kind of acknowledge me, but they go back out to the crowd. And that's okay, because technically that is exactly what you're here for. But I really love creating with the people. Like when I ask a question, Katie would turn to me and we talk for a minute or two,
Yeah.
So much fun.
You can tell that there's a connection when that happens, right? Versus just playing to the crowd.
Yeah. It was so cool. So don't know, and hope I don't get in trouble, because I probably shouldn't have shared some of those details because it's sensitive. I know in the big grand scheme of numbers on the internet, I'm nobody, but I don't need tomorrow the Atlanta Journal putting up director of digital media says that this is coming to, but I mean, it'll be fine. But hope is hope, it'd be great. There's some other things that might be possible at Dragon Con for me as well to bring that vision forward. But